We are brought to you today by Smooth My Balls. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, are you sick of cutting yourself, nipping yourself with those old razors that you've used 412 different times? Well, Smooth My Balls has you covered. Your number one source for male grooming products. Dedicated to providing you the very best trimmers with an emphasis on service, friendliness, and overall good experiences. Smooth My Balls has come a long way from its beginnings in England. When they first started out, their passion was for male grooming. That drove them to start their own business and to find the best products suitable for easy grooming. You will thank me later, your privates will thank me later, and your partner will thank me later, because you're gonna be smooth as an egg. Trust me. Use code POP at checkout for 15% off your entire order. Limit one order per household per day. Guys, girls, get on it. Shave up. Get it. Hey, you need to do the intro.
Ooh.
All over my computer.
Say what? Say what?
All over my computer. I can't sit here. So just do the intro, please.
Cool. What's up, everybody? What's up? What's up? Welcome this morning. Happy Memorial Day to everybody. Thank you guys for tuning in. We are here this morning, this holiday morning. We are gonna get started with some news. But first off, as always, guys, don't forget to like, share, comment, tell your friends, tell your mom, tell your dad, tell your grandpa, your grandparents, everybody. Let them know that we're on YouTube, that we're live every day, that we have a show, and yeah, tell your friends, tell everybody you know. So what's up to everybody in the chat? Adam, Nick, Billy, all of our usual guys. What's up? What's up? hope you guys enjoyed last night. Last night we had a really fun time, a fun show, just doing kind of a live stream trivia. We had some winners last night. I know Geek Studios won, Prakash won. So yeah, guys, make sure and let us know what you think of that. Go back and check out that video too after this, of course. And yeah, so we got some fun stuff to cover today. But before we get started, let's see here. Let's see who's in the chat. Billy, Adam. All right, what's up, everybody watching? Okay, so we will go ahead and get started with the first topic here. Again, guys, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Also, a quick announcement. We now have YouTube memberships, YouTube paid memberships. So we are going to be slowly phasing out the Patreon portion of the channel and kind of move it towards the YouTube membership. So if you are a Patreon, we do ask that in the next month or so, whatever it is that next time that you donate comes in, we ask that you do, if you can, switch over to the YouTube membership, so that way we can begin phasing out Patreon, and that way we can just kind of keep all of it in one place. You still get a lot of the same perks. There's 3 different tiers, I believe, with the YouTube memberships. You have the Justice, which is the $2.99 tier. You have the Jack Tack, which is the, I believe, $5.99 or $6.99 tier. And then, of course, the $9.99 tier, the best one, the highest one that you can get. You can become a tie and get special access to all different kinds of fun content and exclusive streams, private chats. We'll do private watch parties with you. You know, so yeah, it's definitely some cool perks, guys. Go check them out for sure. But let's get started here this morning. The first thing I kind of want to get started talking about is Fast 9. Fast 9 actually is in its second weekend right now in China and overseas. It hasn't opened here in the U.S. yet, but in overseas, Fast 9 is actually on its second weekend out. And from what I hear, it did not have the and let's see here. Got to make sure I can share my screen. All right. Okay, maybe cut out. All right, here we go. So, share screen. It did not do as well. Let's see. All right. Let's see here. So we have China box office, Fast 9 Falls, and the John Cena controversy. Okay, so last week, guys, we were talking a lot last week about John Cena. John Cena last week, he had to come out and talk. Basically, he had to make an apology. A lot of people were asking the same question, and that is, what is this apology for? Because it's not very specific when you go and watch the video. He does an apology in Mandarin. He basically says that he's very, very, very sorry. But again, it's not really specific as to what for. Everybody knows that he had made a tweet, I believe a day or two earlier, saying that Fast 9 was now out in Taiwan. It's now out in your country. Go and see it. And he took some hard backlash, not only from the studio, who probably were the ones that told him to apologize, but also from the Chinese. The Chinese were not happy about that comment as I guess to my understanding is they don't recognize Taiwan as a country, and so that kind of put John Cena in the doghouse because he said, "Oh, Fast 9's out in your country," which it's a funny thing. He's trying to promote the movie. Obviously, got in trouble for it, and now it's taken a hit. So we're now seeing that this has actually impacted the box office of Fast 9, which in China is actually it relies on a big portion of China's box office. The Fast and Furious franchise tends to do very, very, very well in China. So it's not a situation that Universal particularly wants to, put themselves or a position that they want to get themselves in, because obviously this is a big moneymaker for them, and they don't want to risk any potential of losing or offending, the audience that makes these movies so big. So we do see here, China box office, Fast 9 falls 85% midweek reviews. I'm going to read just a little bit of this Hollywood Reporter article. What's up, Madge? Chinese aren't going to see the movie because they met. Basically, yes. Basically, Madge, yes. There's so many censorship laws in China and different things that the studios and actors have to tiptoe around to not make them upset, because they are very aggressive. They pull movies, so like I said, to my understanding, Cena said the wrong word by calling Taiwan a country, and now after two laps, let's see it, Chinese filmgoers have hit the brakes on Justin Lin's Fast 9, the Hollywood Reporter article reads. Universal Temple downshifted 85% in its second weekend, earning just $20.8 million compared. Now, guys, this is a huge dip. Last weekend, in its opening weekend, it made $136 million at the Chinese box office. $136 million. That's on par with a Marvel, traditional Marvel opening before the pandemic, right? That's huge. That's on par with some big tentpole, Marvel DC films. So it took a massive dip, 136 million, right? So that's last weekend. We know that in the middle of the week, John Cena has this controversy. He's got to make an apology in Mandarin. A lot of people even just in general were questioning it. But obviously, something happened here. People were not happy, and it took a big dip. This weekend it only earned $20 million. Guys, that's wild. That's wild. That is wild for a movie the size of Fast 9, obviously. For it to take such a big dip in its second weekend to open at 136. That's huge. After two laps, the Vin Diesel John Cena action flick has totaled $185 million globally, slightly ahead of where the franchise spinoff Hobbs and Shaw was sitting at. Franchise mainstays Furious 7 and Fate of the Furious, which topped out at $390 million in 2015 for Furious 7, and $392 million in 2017 for the Fate of the Furious. Chinese ticketing app Maon currently projects F9 to finish, at $211.9 million. So again, guys, results for these Fast and Furious movies are huge. They're huge, especially in China. Fast and Furious 7, $390 million. The Fate of the Furious, $392 million. This new one, Fast 9, is only projected to make $211 million. That's almost $200 million shorter than the previous two Fast and Furious movies. Now, sure, we have to ask ourselves, there's the pandemic, there's a lot. I have to question some of this because at the same time, it opened at $136 million. That is a phenomenal. That's a pretty pre-pandemic. That's a pretty standard Fast and Furious opening, I would say, especially in China. It's hugely popular over there. So this is big. This is really, really big. And this is probably gonna hit the franchise, right? So they got two more of these movies that they want to make, two more to close out the franchise. We know that probably a good half, if not like 60% of the Fast and Furious franchise's box office returns probably come from China. So the fact that this it's going to finish $200 million shorter than the previous films, it took $100 million dip in weekends between its opening weekend and its second weekend. $100 million dip, $110 million dip actually. Yeah, wow, this is huge. It's so funny because we were talking about this during the week. And we were saying how we felt bad, right, for John Cena, that he had to make this apology because the video is very awkward. It is very, he seems very like he's being forced to do it and all of that. But obviously, it massively impacted the franchise, massively impacted the film. I think you have to probably say that was Cena here. Whether John Cena's humiliating Taiwan-China gift has had anything to do with F9's weak legs in the Middle Kingdom is difficult to determine. The Chinese market tends to be far more front-loaded and sensitive to real-time word of mouth than most territories. So yeah, and what I heard is, yeah, as soon as he did say that, the Chinese were very upset and they started, boycotting and all that. Let's see. And F9 has been hit by withering reviews from the start. Okay, so that's another thing too. I haven't really seen or looked at the reviews actually yet for Fast 9, but apparently, let me pull those up. Apparently, they're not that good, which I don't know what people were expecting. Cinematic masterpiece. I don't think was really what. Was coming from the Fast and Furious franchise. Okay, so it's sitting at 65% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's not too bad. I thought that was where most of these Fast and Furious movies fall anyways. So let's see here. So this is the same stuff. It's no cinematic masterpiece, but it's fun. It's a fun movie, and you watch the series. Yeah, so those reviews aren't too bad. I think that's pretty expected. Its social scores on Mailon are 7.5 and 5.5 on Dubon, lower than most major titles released this year. Still, earlier in its run, the film was forecasted to earn significantly more, and Cena's public relations debacle certainly hasn't helped. Former wrestler referred to Taiwan as a country during a promotional interview and then issued a groveling apology to outraged nationalistic Chinese fans, for which he subsequently was widely derided here in the West, which is true. Let's see. Yeah, that's really big, guys. That's a big deal for sure. So that's going to be one to watch, to keep an eye on, the Fast and Furious Fast 9, and see how that does, how that continues to do overseas. And obviously how it would do here domestically is probably now, like I said, I think these Fast and the Furious movies, they know a massive audience. Their main audience is in China. I would say probably 60%, maybe 70% of their box office returns come from China. I think, we saw earlier that the last two Fast and Furious movies didn't cross $400 million domestically. So again, guys, yeah, that's a big one for sure. That's going to be one to watch and see how that does. But it's not great news for the future of the franchise. That's for sure. All right, so let's go on here. Speaking of box office, Quiet Place 2 also opened this weekend, and that did very, very, very well for obviously opening again. Guys, we're still in a pandemic. Theaters are still kind of, I think people now are just kind of getting comfortable with going back to the theaters and, feeling cool. So we're just going to start to see, I think, the return of the box office here. And I thought it was interesting. I saw a really cool tweet this weekend somebody put out. It was like, it wasn't Christopher Nolan, right, that brought back the box office with Tenet. It was John Krasinski. It was Jim from The Office, guys. And that's right. He had a really good opening weekend. Quiet Place 2 opened this weekend, and let's see, I believe it opens to about $48 million. Top and Quiet, which debuted to, okay, so it opens to $15 million over the weekend, and it's now, okay, so it's going to top out at around $32 million for the weekend. That's not too bad. That's a great, hey, for middle of a pandemic, that is really, really, really good. Obviously, A Quiet Place, the first movie was, hey, there he is, Ty's back.
I just spilled a whole cup of coffee on $1,000 fucking computer. Not too happy right now.
My gosh. Good Lord.
And that half a second I had to try to explain to you what happened probably wasn't good.
Oh my gosh. Were you able to get any of it off, or what?
Yeah. I mean, luckily it's, I mean, I'm here. I think it's good, but
all right.
I'm not a happy camper right now.
Whew.
Not a happy camper all of a sudden.
That is, yeah.
I just smashed my coffee cup onto the bathroom sink. Like, not happy right now. So I'm gonna have to go clean that up after as well.
Yep. Yeah, that's
my Star Wars cup no longer exists. It is literally in 1,000 pieces.
Yeah, that's always, that's why they always say whenever you have all that equipment and stuff, just don't even risk having all the water or anything around.
Yeah, I was rushing, and I like, if you ask Justice, I don't let him put, no drinks are allowed on my desk.
Right.
And I was rushing. It was my fault. So, and I'm the one who knocked it over.
Yep.
Because I'm an idiot. But
well, at least we're still running.
Yeah, hold on. Let's where did you get through?
All right, so I basically got through China box office dip of Fast 9, which was very, very serious. It went from an opening weekend of $136 million to $20 million this weekend.
Yeah, 85%
in China. Massive. So obviously that John Cena
85%. Fast 9 falls.
Woo! Yeah, it was ugly. It's ugly.
That's a rough drop. That's a rough drop.
So we'll see. We'll see. Basically, I was saying how Fast and Furious does depend a lot on Chinese box office, and now they're gonna have to depend on the domestic over here and see how it does, which could put the future of the franchise in a bit of jeopardy.
I wonder.
I know they want to make 2 more.
I wonder if China pulled it at all from certain theaters or
possibly.
I wonder if they did anything to affect
to really affect
that. Seems weird to drop 85% over comments that the normal Chinese people don't really care about.
But that's what I read in the Hollywood Reporter article. Is it said that Chinese nationalist fans were outraged. That nationalist China, right. So, I would think it the same thing that the people. I didn't think the Chinese people were necessarily so offended, just more the government. But obviously, I mean that's huge. I mean that's unheard of. That's unheard of. 136 to $20 million.
Yeah. So what I was about to say after the intro played.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus Christ. Oh man. I was so upset.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten mad like that in a long time. I did some things that I'm not proud of.
Hey man, I've done it before. I know the absolute. Yeah. Your heart sinks. Yeah, I know how it feels.
Guys, you can now hit that join button. It's on. I can't find it. So if you're on the app, if you're on the phone app, I don't see it. But if you're on your computer, it's there. It's weird. So I don't know what that is.
I don't know
like
what that
means. I don't get it.
Make any sense. Well, it's the same thing. Like when you go to if I go to Poindexter Lounge and everything, I can't join from the app. I have to go to my key. I have to go to my computer. it's just the whole membership thing. I think has to be done through the computer or through like the desktop version of YouTube, whatever.
That's so strange. But
I
if you want
know.
to join, you can click the link in the description. It'll open your Safari and it will bring you to where you need to be, a desktop version, so you can join. That's something that maybe I'll email YouTube about, because that's stupid.
Yeah, that's kind of I did
Maybe I
explain the
won't be able to do
tiers.
anything, but
Yeah, I did explain the tiers, and I did let everybody know that there's a video out explaining all of that as well.
Okay. And then obviously subscribe if you haven't already, and ring the bell, smash the like button, and share the show on social. Happy Memorial Day. I'm so happy to be, I'm going to keep the flag up for one more day, and then we'll bring her down. We'll bring her down.
Okay.
We'll bring her down tonight. But yeah, man, happy to be here. Sorry about that introduction.
Hey, it's all good, man. It happens. It happens.
So that also means I haven't had my morning coffee yet. And that was the last of my cream.
Oh my gosh, man! The list is
just a terrible thing. Let's move on. So, A Quiet Place 2, speaking of movies that did well or are doing well, A Quiet Place 2, pretty raving reviews. Have you seen it yet?
No, I'm going to today. I was going to
go see it today too, actually, matter of fact.
There we go.
I was just going to go alone because I can.
Same. Yeah. Can't find anybody. We'll text each other through
Yeah. I was literally like, you know what? I'm just going to go see it alone, dude. I don't even care.
Yeah, me too. And I feel like, we have to. It's everybody's talking about it. Like I can't.
Yeah. But let us know in the comments. Have you seen A Quiet Place 2? Did you like it? Because the ratings are really, really good for it. I don't know if you saw.
Really good. Really good. And
I
would think too. Yeah, I would think too. This is kind of this is a good movie, right? To get the theaters going again, because the first one was so popular in that the theater experience, right? Everybody was like the movie. You don't go to a movie usually and the theater's silent throughout the movie, and it's terrifying. And you can hear, and there was just this edge, right, to being in the first Quiet Place, that I really look forward to seeing the sequel and what they do with that. And I hear they create its own theater experience, so I can't wait. I really can't.
I'm assuming this one's gonna have more dialogue than the first one did, because the first one really leaned into the quiet place kind of aspect, right? But who knows? Throughout the trailer, you hear a little bit more dialogue between characters. You hear lots of, it's a sequel. They have to go bigger and better than last time. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's more, explosions or at least more dialogue, and that's okay with me, as long as we still get that quiet,
aspect.
That was that aspect needs to be there still. It needs to be somehow incorporated. But I wouldn't be mad if it was less, if there was less quiet.
Obviously, by the end of the first movie, if you've seen it, the world's kind of changed a little bit. They can maybe make a little bit more noise and do a little bit. Obviously they're more ready to face these things. So I agree with you. Yeah, I want to see especially more from Emily Blunt's character, and I can't wait. I really love the first movie. So
yeah, it was so good. So guys, let us know. Let us know if you've seen it in the comments.
I did say I saw a funny tweet earlier. They were like, it's not Christopher Nolan who brought the box office back. It was Jim from The Office. Jim did it, man. He did it.
I got a couple more pictures here. Quiet Place. I like that this is that scene was rough. I like that this is the motto.
Yeah,
that's the one. That's the glamour shot.
Mm-hmm.
Of the movie, right? With your thingy there. So listen, something else happened. And I'm not really sure what you were talking about when you said it, but let's get into it. So HBO Max had a problem last night?
Yes. So HBO Max last night, they've been having this show, The Mayor of Easttown, with Kate Winslet. Okay. I haven't seen it, but it's been gaining massive popularity. It went from its first week to its second and third week. The viewership just went up and up and up and up. Funny that they're releasing viewership numbers for that. Anyways, but last night was the finale episode, and it crashed, which is man, don't remember the last time an HBO Max crashed. What was that? What was that? It's a little movie.
Snyder Cut.
Oh yeah, the Snyder Cut. Zack Snyder's Justice League crashed HBO Max. That's right. So I would think obviously this show's pretty big. If it crashed HBO Max, and the last thing to do that was, Zack Snyder's Justice League.
That's a good sign.
That's a good sign.
The show must be fire.
The show, and I've heard rave reviews. Kate Winslet, and Evan Peters is in it too. So
I love him.
I might have to check that out. I think actually I might.
Yeah, I love that guy, dude. He's so good.
He's so diverse. That's what I love about him. He can play anything.
Yeah, he's so good. But I've never really heard of the show. So, what do you think? Is HBO Max? I mean, is HBO Max a joke at this point?
They're getting to be. They're slowly getting there.
The leadership is such a joke of HBO. Not like HBO is Warner Brothers is really what I'm talking about in theory. Like Warner Brothers is a joke. Yeah. And I'm sorry to HBO Max because you guys are actually good. I like your service. I pay for it every month. If I really didn't like it, I wouldn't pay for it.
I like your content. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you guys have great content. I think you as an individual, you're amazing. It's not
you, it's your parents.
Yeah.
Your parents are holding this relationship back here. All right, I'm talking.
Your parents are it's like they're like dirty politicians. And you're just an innocent kid who's been labeled because your dad is a scumbag. So I'm very sorry to you, but that's just something you're gonna have to live with for the rest of your life.
That was such a great comparison.
Yeah. So
that was such a great comparison. But it's true, man. It's so true, and it's so sad because it feels like such a wasted opportunity. There's so much there's a library, like you said, of great content. I pay for the service. I enjoy. I know I'm 25 years old, but I still watch cartoons. So I'm still watching Justice League and Batman and Superman.
Right.
I'll pay for that stuff until I die. I love it.
Right.
It's just not only with, I think their advertising and their marketing is just not on point. Somebody else mentioned they haven't really had like a show, to set themselves or some besides Zack Snyder's Justice League. That's
they don't have anything
HBO unoriginal,
Yeah, and you know what? I really did think that oh God, what's the show called? The one with the demons.
His Dark Materials?
His Dark Materials. I really thought that show was gonna blow up.
It really tried to.
It didn't
and
blow up.
It's a really good show, but
it is. I love it. I love it. I really do. And I thought that show was gonna blow up harder than it did, but it didn't. And that surprised me actually. Well, I enjoy it.
I know that's what HBO was depending kind of on that show to do what
really good. If anyone hasn't seen his Dark Materials on HBO Max, 2 seasons are out. They're really good seasons. The second season I thought could have been a little bit better, but overall, it catches up towards the end.
The girl from Logan is the star.
Yeah, the girl from X-23.
X-23, and she's phenomenal.
She is good. Actress. She is good. I like the other kid too. The second kid that they're bringing, he's really good. But yeah, guys, check it out. It's really good. I think it's worth watching for anyone who doesn't have content. It's a show that you can watch, and you'll be like, "Oh, I'm so glad I watched this." So definitely check that out. But yeah, so A Quiet Place. We're gonna see it today. I'm actually really excited because I like movies like this. I like movies that like it checks all my boxes, right? You got the sci-fi aspect of it, something otherworldly, right?
Yeah.
Then there's a little bit of horror in there, but not too much to like freak you out, just enough to keep you on the edge, keep you guessing. And then it's shot really well. It's shot like the first one was shot amazingly.
Somebody said the opening sequence just reminded them of like the old school, very Spielberg. Very Spielbergian, and I was like, "Oh, I'm
assuming
I actually look forward to that."
Yeah, I'm assuming that's going to be the flashback stuff.
Right, exactly.
I would assume it would be the flashback stuff, but again, I haven't seen it, so if I was going to do it, I would do like an opening of because in the trailer we see John Krasinski his character in a shop, and he's like buying that thing for his kid, that toy that was in the first one.
Right.
And he's like, what's going on? And then, then stuff happens.
Crazy chaos.
Chaos ensues. God, I'm so happy my computer hasn't shut off yet.
You're like, that's what's keeping you on the edge of your seat.
Yeah.
Right now. Like,
for anyone who doesn't know, watch the beginning of the show. I spilled my coffee all over my computer. Not good. Not good. But this movie, the way it is like framed and the way it is shot, how they lean into the silence is almost eerie, but it's so on point. It's so done well because, like, again, people always ask, well, what's a movie with no sound? Right. Everything. You have no idea. There was literally, the first movies were silent movies.
And like, that's what I loved about it. It was such a unique experience. But for me, my biggest thing is always like, and this goes with like movies and actors too, right? Whenever you can tell the story without directly telling the story, I always find fascinating. So A Quiet Place, in the way that it doesn't use silence. Another one that I refer to is there's a movie called Drive. Ryan Gosling plays a character, and I think it's probably one of the best performances ever, just because he has little to no dialogue, but he tells the whole character's journey in life is on his face, and it's so well done. So whenever that type of stuff happens, I'm always impressed. I'm always looking forward to unique experiences when they try and do something different. It's just something different, And also the horror aspect too. I love a good, like you said, a good creature horror. Everything's supernatural nowadays and all that. I know what
movies also using that, right? All of a sudden, is the Tomorrow War. Tomorrow War has similar things going on. I noticed, like with the creature aspect of it. So that's another reason I'm actually really interested in Tomorrow War. I cannot wait.
It does feel a little like Independence Day, though. To me.
All right, but I mean, I'm a huge Will Smith fan, so I'm okay with that.
Okay, yeah.
But no, Raging Entertainment. We're talking about A Quiet Place 2, right now.
Which I guess is a monster war movie. No.
Yeah. But I'm so excited. I recommend A Quiet Place to anyone. If you're not a horror person, that doesn't matter. The horror aspect of it is like, it's there, but it's not. It doesn't lean on it so hard.
And it's not your typical, like, they're trying to jump scare you right every time. No. It's hard. It is horror, but it's more thriller. It is
thriller is what I would use. Thriller is what I would use. But definitely, I would use thriller over horror. Tomorrow War looks amazing. Adam says, "What did you guys think of the first one?" The first one was lit, amazing. Yeah, I mean, I love the first one. The first one blew me away, and I didn't watch it in theaters because I didn't want to see it. I thought it was going to be a plain horror movie with Jim from The Office and his wife. I was like, no, I'm good. And then I ended up watching it at the start of the pandemic with me and my ex watched it, and I was like,
okay,
what did I miss?
Dude, it really is. It was one of those theater experiences you never forget. Me and my friend were, because you're in the theater with people, right? But it's silent. It's silent, and everybody's just like biting their nails on the edge of their seat, like
very much so. Very much.
Man, it was so cool.
But yeah, guys, head out, check out A Quiet Place 2 while it's in theaters. Get out, support your local theaters, because it's only in theaters, baby. That's the way it's going to be going forward, guys. It's only in theaters. You got to get out and support your local theater. On to the next one. I got some funny stuff to tell you. Warner Brothers regrets selling Army of the Dead. Is this a surprise to anyone? Is this a surprise to a single person?
Are you serious right now?
Wait, I'm sorry. Let's repeat it. Hold on. I gotta do that one more time. Netflix purchased Army of the Dead, and Warner Brothers regrets selling it. I told ya. You were going to regret this from the moment it released and you saw what it could have been, what you could have had if you had just been a little smarter, a little bit more of a risk taker, a little bit more of a good-hearted studio that allows their directors to express themselves in creative ways. But no, you want to make movies by committee. And look what happens. You get Justice League. Netflix gets Army of the Dead.
whole franchise, a whole new, and we're not just talking, sequels, the spinoffs and the, yeah, I mean, they missed out. They missed out big time, obviously. Rating to Army of the Dead has mixed reviews. I think here's the thing though, right? I think Zack Snyder over the course of his career has proved, and this is the biggest thing, right? I think for me, if I was a studio executive, is Zack Snyder has consistently, with every single movie he's made, brought box office. He has had about, whether his movies are good or bad, whether they're mixed reviews, blah blah blah, doesn't matter. He is a guaranteed box office return.
Yeah, 100%. Because they're gorgeous. They're fun to watch.
So that in itself was dumb of Warner Brothers to let go, knowing that, hey, even if people aren't going to like the movie, they're still going to go see it and talk about it. Yeah, it's Zack Snyder.
And here's the thing: I didn't see any mixed reviews. I haven't looked in a while though, so like maybe there are. And the only, like, exactly what Adam said, the reason there's any mixed reviews, I promise you, is not because of the film. It's because of Zack. People don't like him. People don't like him as a director, and they review bomb him, right, not according to the film, but according to him. They just don't like him. We've seen it time and time again.
Right. I mean, there's
time again.
That's not to say, like, there's elements to criticize, but it in no way.
I criticized a couple moments.
Yeah, I have a real. I think I love the movie, but for me the mess, the ending is a mess. But still, it's not enough for me to say, like, it's still a great. I've seen the movie 4 times and I love it every time. Yeah, like, it's little things that but nothing for me to go like, oh, it's gotten mixed reviews, I think. Yeah.
I mean, I can only assume that the mixed reviews are coming from people that don't like Zack.
Yeah, you know what? I just remembered I saw something on Twitter. There's some troll that's been like trashing him for the last 2 days. And it's so funny. I think these guys are so funny, right? These guys that get on Twitter and start trashing Zack and going, oh, it's his tweet, with, guys, I saw Army of the Dead and it's really bad. And so you can already tell they're begging for attention. Yeah, they're begging for the, and it's so funny because, like, this, some of the Snyder fandom, like, of course, starts attacking and going, but they're just like encouraged. These guys are feeding off him.
You feed, then you're feeding that guy. Like, that's what he wants.
He's been going for 2 days because people are feeding him.
What's his name?
I don't. I'll send it.
Come on.
Let me pull. Well, I gotta pull up the tweet here because I did like somebody that called.
Come on, I'm feeling pretty aggravated today. So.
I'm feeling frisky. Let's do it. Let me see here.
Come on, we gotta. I thought his version of Dawn of the Dead was better than Army of the Dead. I think a lot of people would agree with that.
His version of that. Actually, I like Army of the Dead more, and that's just because I get a very like video game feel from Army of the Dead.
Yeah,
like it's I played Left 4 Dead as a kid, where you're in the mall straight, and there's a whole scene in Army where you're just mowing down zombies. I was like, that's it. I'm trying to find this. I'll find the tweet. I'm gonna find the guy.
Yeah, but I thought Army of the Dead. Listen, it does have issues. It 100% has issues. Every film does.
Yeah, we're not kiss asses, guys.
Every film does. And like Civil War, I could go on for an hour about the mistakes that were made in Civil War,
right,
or in Endgame, or in Infinity War. Pick your favorite movie. We'll talk about some mistakes it's made. There are mistakes in most films. No one is perfect in this life, and not directors like Zack, not directors like Chris Nolan. Look at Tenet. Look at Dunkirk. I thought Dunkirk was poorly made.
Really?
Yeah, that's just me personally. I don't have anyone on my side about that. I think there's a couple people on my side about that.
I have one person that's on your side.
I think Dunkirk was literal garbage.
I loved it. It's a very
in trash garbage.
That was so interesting because now I don't think about that. I don't think about that. But I really liked Dunkirk. That was another one where the uniqueness to me of the not making a war movie with no blood, it interested me. I thought, okay, this is I like that concept.
Right. I thought Dunkirk was so, because all right, so here's my gripe with Dunkirk for anyone that wants to actually know. So what is the point of the film? What is the point of a movie, right? It's for us to get to know certain characters. Those are your main characters. And we also like to get to know some of the non-main characters, the supporting roles, right? Dunkirk wiped that away. You don't know any names of people. You don't know their backstories. You don't know any of the supporting characters. And they did that for a reason. They did it because in war, you wouldn't know this guy who you just met up with after your battalion got murked and now you're looking for help. You wouldn't know his name. I get where he was going with it. I didn't like it because part of the movie experience is attaching yourself to these characters. And I didn't get attached to any of these people. I thought the dialogue was really, really lackluster. And then the time stuff was way too confusing for anyone to understand it the first go. I had to watch it 3 different times to understand which was taking place at what time. And in one sense, I'm going to quote Justice here. If it takes me more than one time to at least get the basis of the movie, I'm not cool with that. Yeah. If I can't understand the movie from a basic point, you're not in a good standing.
I agree with you actually on a lot of it. Like I said, I don't know why I liked that movie really so much. Maybe it's just because it's Chris. But I understand what you're saying. I actually felt more what you're saying with Tenet in that I felt that was Chris getting too complex and even though I kind of understood it, you definitely have to watch it a few times to really, really get it. And that was like, all right, dude, your ego's gone through the roof if you think that,
Darkest Hours is actually a really good movie.
I haven't
really
seen
good, really good movie.
That.
And
that's the one he won the Oscar for, right?
Yeah. And 1917.
1917
is a good film. They shot that so well.
Phenomenal.
It's supposed to be a one-cut film, right? Where there's no there's no fades. But they really did. They didn't shoot that all in one go.
Right. I think they said they cut.
They used a pretty cool tactic to do what they needed to do.
Yeah. So, yeah. I agree. I think 1917 does.
Hacksaw Ridge is another great film. Hacksaw Ridge is so good. So good.
Hacksaw Ridge is one of my, and I've actually I met some guys that knew that guy. And that was.
Yeah, Hacksaw Ridge is really, really. I didn't know if I was gonna like it, and I really did like it because they were like, people were saying, oh, it's Saving Private Ryan, but new. Like it's going to be the next Saving Private Ryan, and I don't think it was necessarily, but
it's its own thing.
No, they're not saying the story's the same. They're saying it's a new generation's favorite war. Yeah. But. Hey, a member of the channel, Susana.
Hey, Susie! What's up, Susie? Much love, Susie.
Yeah, we're gonna have to switch over to the YouTube. I'm gonna be disabling Patreon at the end of the week. Dude, they take way too many fees. They take
you were telling me
they take 3 separate fees. Yeah. So out of the $5 for each person, we get around $2.25. Like, what is that? What is that?
Yeah. And then have you looked into YouTube with YouTube fees?
YouTube just hits you with taxes and 1 fee, so it's better.
Yeah. But she says Platoon and Full Metal Jacket. Those are two phenomenal war movies.
Full Metal Jacket, I actually haven't got all the way through it.
Full Metal Jacket is pretty good. I've only seen it once, and that was like in high school.
It's the guy with the mental disorder, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Which movie do I think is Nolan's best? The Prestige.
Whoa!
Yeah. The Prestige is one of my favorite. It is my favorite Nolan film. Yeah, Prestige is unbelievable. I've never been left with my jaw on the floor for that long.
Actually, Prestige is number 2. Number 1 is Interstellar for me.
Oh, damn it! I forgot about Interstellar.
I forgot about Interstellar, but Interstellar for me
is gotta be number one. Actually,
is like a just overall film masterpiece.
Number one is Interstellar. Number two is Prestige, but they could change out on what day I'm feeling.
Right. If it's a Tuesday, I might want to watch some magic, see a little Hugh Jackman, you know.
Yeah. All right. Fun fact of the day. Did you know that the original plan for Supernatural did not include the Winchesters? What a world we would live in if there was no Sam and Dean in Supernatural. Well, what was the original plan, you may ask?
Right.
Well, it's not worth talking about because it didn't have Sam and Dean in it. Sam and Dean make this show. They've tried to spin off Supernatural on several occasions to no avail. Do you want to know why? That's because Sam and Dean weren't in it. This show only exists and only is successful due to the fact of the relationship between these two. The reason it lasted so long was not because it had monsters, not because it was on the CW and had little girls watching every week, but because it was written well amongst people which we could relate. Right? I have a brother. Austin, do you have a brother?
I do. I have an older brother.
Austin has a brother. I'm sure a lot of you have brothers or sisters, right? So that family aspect was really what kept people going. Supernatural is a test of time. This show will never get old. You know why? Because we will always have a brother. And that's why Supernatural is my favorite show. However, I cannot believe that was real. When someone told me that, I was like, that doesn't even make sense.
Right.
And then I read the article and I was like, damn. Fun fact of the day, the OG SPN had no Winchesters. I wonder what that show would have been like.
Right. From what I read, it was pretty basic.
Pretty basic monster stuff. Yeah, pretty basic monster stuff. If you want to read the article, who wrote it again? It was on my Google feed.
Screen Rant.
Screen Rant wrote the article. It was on my Google feed yesterday, and like I saw it, and I was like, what? And then I know my Supernatural facts, and I've never heard that story before. So
right, yeah, it was just
very interesting to me.
Just a very basic show. So it's interesting though too, right? You know how that one little aspect, how the brothers part of it, can change and affect and make a basic idea a phenomenal idea.
Yeah. I want so what Charlie just said was he wants Supernatural to get a movie, like a finale kind of movie called One Last Ride. That would be a good idea, but I would call it something different. But
who owns it?
WB. Sadly.
Oh well, could get an HBO Max movie.
Could get an HBO Max movie. But the cast and crew said that. So Jensen and Jared have been really avid about the show will come back one day, but it has to be the right circumstances and it has to be gone for some time because you can't. The problem with the New Days is a show will go off the air for 3-4 years and then come back.
And then they bring it back, yeah.
Like these guys, Jared and Jensen, they want to explore other opportunities. I mean, Jensen's going to work with the boys. Right. The guy who made the boys, Eric Kripke, made Supernatural.
Right.
So, that's good for him. Jared is over at Walker, which is another CW show. Right. It's a remake of Walker, Texas Ranger.
And it's doing really well.
It's doing phenomenally.
Which is, it's so funny. As soon as I heard about it, because I actually grew up like
I was on board with it.
I was watching.
I'm still not on board with it. I haven't watched it.
I've watched a few episodes. It's good. But I like it is not trying to be anything that the original was.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, it's Chuck Norris.
Yeah.
Chuck Norris you can't do that.
Roundhouse, baby.
I just thought it was like a weird thing to reboot, but they're doing something original with it, and I think that's cool. So, props to both of those guys. Those are my dream guests. Dream guests.
Oh, Jensen Ackles.
I have 5 dream guests. Zack Snyder.
Oh yeah, obviously.
Jensen Ackles, Jared Padalecki, Will Smith, Chris Evans.
Okay.
Those are my 5. Those are my 5. If I can get those 5 on the show, I can die peacefully.
That's it. We can, guys. So help us out. Let's get those. We're shutting it down as soon as we do. No,
I will. I'll shut it down right after I'm done with that.
Shut it.
My
down.
life will be so complete. I'll never have to do another thing in my life. I'll just air reruns for the rest of eternity.
You'll sit on your couch just watching you, and you're like, "I did it, man. I did it."
Yeah. No, seriously, those 5 people mean a lot to me.
Yeah. Well, I was hearing you. You were mentioning the other day about Will Smith that you're, which I didn't know about you. You're a massive Will Smith fan. I had no idea that you were. That was your secret obsession, man.
Yeah. So Will Smith is number 1. Yeah,
number 1.
He'll always be number 1. Like he's the number 1 person that
I've always thought
that I aspire to be like.
He's got to be like the coolest, nicest dude just in the world.
Yeah. Some people like the kid that rents a room here. He's always like, dude, he's a Scientologist. By the way, that's not true.
Well, here's the thing, and Jada's been very open. She said, obviously we're in Hollywood, and people came to us, we talked about it, but we never got into it.
Yeah, I don't know why anyone can even remotely consider. Yeah, of course, people came to them and were like,
right, hey, they're in Hollywood.
We're in the Church of Scientology. Do you want to join our cult?
Tiny Tom Cruise didn't go up to Willie and go, hey, man, let me tell you about space.
yeah, right. And, but he's a very giving individual. He inspires. He's been in some of the greatest films of all time, in my opinion, in my humble opinion. He lives life the way I want to live it. He doesn't take bullshit. His kids are kind of weird, and I think that.
But they're great people.
But they're great in a weird way.
Say what you want.
Yeah, they're great in a weird way.
Jaden is literally opening up a free food truck in LA for homeless people that he's going to serve them 100% free vegan food.
That's awesome.
That's
amazing.
It
has to be vegan though. See, if I was homeless, I'd be pissed. Get this vegan stuff out of here, man. I'll just go. I'll go get change from homeboy.
I'm dead. He said if I was homeless, I'd be pissed.
Yeah, I'd be so aggravated.
Can you imagine somebody gives you a burger? Oh, thank you, man. Yeah, it's the
vegan
Impossible burger. It's impossible, man. It's
their whole approach to parenting is actually really interesting. Yeah, they let their kids be free to express themselves.
You know what? I actually watched the Red Table Talk Jada has on Facebook.
Yeah,
I enjoy it.
I heard it's really good.
I actually really enjoy it, and it's really cool because Jada has her mom and then Willow there, and so you got the 3 different generations. I mean, it's very close to me, I guess, because I have my grandma, right? The older generation. I have my brothers, like kind of right, and then there's me, and so. It's cool hearing all the different generations and all the different perspectives, and they're very. I agree with you. I think they're a great family overall.
That would be I would watch, not the Kardashians.
Right.
I'm being serious when I say this.
Yes.
I would rather watch the Will Smith keeping up with the Smiths over Kardashians. You know why? Because the Smiths have actually achieved things. The Kardashians haven't. You got famous from a sex tape.
Besides fashion, I guess they have certain fashion things, but
it all came from a sex tape. That's where it all came from.
Well, you gotta give, Robert Kardashian was a lawyer, and I would say they got that name from him, and then obviously escalated.
He barely got the. I mean, he was friends with a guy that murdered 2 people.
Fun fact: so my best friend is a bartender here at a restaurant called Gene, and Mr. Simpson, it's called Gene, King, and Mr. O.J. Simpson is a regular at that place.
Yeah, it's crazy to me how he is walking a free man these days.
Yeah, he's here in Vegas, man. He's just chilling.
It amazes me that dude is still walking around as a free man, even after admitting that he did it twice in his book. Once he admitted in his book, another time he slipped up in public, said it, and then he went to jail for something else afterwards.
So I studied that case in mock trial for like the whole year. We studied the OJ case.
Yeah.
I'm convinced he didn't do it.
No, he definitely did it.
I'm convinced you do it, but I have a whole theory. I'm convinced when you go and it like I watched that down, like
Don't
watch the
even sit
whole
there and tell me you
retrial.
also think Michael Jackson's innocent.
No, I think he definitely did some stuff.
Justice thinks Michael Jackson's an innocent person, and it disgusts
Yeah,
me.
I don't think he's. I don't. No. Yeah.
My point about the Michael Jackson thing is, if
Michael's
I'm an
different. I don't
Olympic
know.
medalist and I use human growth hormone and I get caught for doping, I can get my trophies taken away, right? I can get my medals taken away. Michael Jackson, you got your King of Pop stuff taken away. You got every achievement you've ever earned taken away the minute you decided to diddle little children.
Right.
That's when you lost it for me.
Right.
You mother creepy bastard.
Yeah, there's definitely some some questionable things for sure. But no, I'm not.
Best thing that happened to the planet was him dead.
Yeah, I you know, it's interesting because you have like people like what's that kid that from Home Alone that's like oh yeah, no way. But then obviously you have other kids that were like, well, that wasn't the case for me. And you would think too, obviously, I'd be pretty surprised, right, if he went after like a kid like as famous as the one from Home Alone, like like Michael goes after the Home Alone kid. That's gonna be some headline, you know. Yeah. Or even like the credibility, right, of like if he were to say something compared to a nobody kid.
Yeah. I listen. It is what it is, right? The richer you are, the better of a chance that you have to like get off doing some heinous crime.
Right.
But the fact that Michael Jackson walked around for years and years with people knowing what he did and complicit in that act blows my mind. I would have gouged that dude's eyeballs out on sight.
Yeah, well, yeah, definitely fine.
Now to ripped his white skin off and told him, "You're a black guy. Act like it."
But no, with the OJ one, I'm convinced. I don't think OJ. I think it was his son. His son did it for sure.
You think OJ's son did it?
Yes, sir.
What a wild theory. And he was kind of like.
When you watch the trial, too, one of the most interesting things is when you watch the trial and he's acquitted, the only person in OJ's family to have any sort of emotional reaction, the only person to fall on their knees crying is his son. The only person that glove would have fit is his son. The son, and there's a lot I can go into, but the son and the girl that died, obviously, the lady that died, I forgot her name. They did not have they didn't like each other at all. They didn't get along.
How old was his son?
20.
He was over 18.
He was over. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Who was the other person in him with the car in the car chase? His son. You know.
I thought it was his.
So it's my theory is no, it's his son. My theory is that look, it's a position that he would have gone to jail. OJ, right, for his son, he would have done it. He was going to cover for his son. That's I'm convinced that was the case.
Interesting. I never heard that theory, so maybe we should present it.
Yeah, I would love to. I think I still have my notes from my trial. I did a whole case on it, and yeah.
Do you guys want to be upset with the human? Do you guys want to be upset with humans? Stick around. Here's today's trending stuff.
Right.
Number 1, Memorial Day meaning. This really hurts me. Over 100,000 people.
I think I've come to expect
don't know what Memorial Day is.
I think I've just come to expect it, especially, and it's unfortunate to say, but especially my generation and the ones younger than me are just
weird trending results that will make you question the human being. Memorial Day meaning, guys, is this a legit? Be honest. How many in the chat don't know what Memorial Day is all about? Let me know. I'll give you a couple minutes. I'll give you a couple seconds.
Yeah, well, I mean, man, that's, you know, for me, obviously, like, it was instilled from birth. Like Memorial Days are better. Obviously, my grandfather served in the Vietnam War.
Because people, I think maybe people like are confusing it with Veterans Day.
Possibly, you know, I used to. Okay, see, yeah, Matt,
I should just said it. Yeah,
I used to confuse it with Veterans Day as a kid. Okay, yeah, so that's understandable.
That's different, though. At least you know they're two different. They're things. Yeah.
Right.
And then number 2, Memorial Day quotes. Right under that, Tulsa Massacre. Number 4, we jumped to sports with the Mavericks. Number 5, Murph's workout. What the hell is that?
Murph's workout.
But Prakash, you're also not.
I don't know exactly.
Look, he's from he's from a different country, and he pretty much nailed it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's basically we're honoring all those people who have served and passed in.
Yeah, Veterans Day is for anyone who served, former, past, present.
Right.
Right.
Memorial Day is for those
specifically
that have
for
passed,
the people. Yes.
And the families of those that have passed or have had you know someone pass away.
You could incorporate them into one day.
Yeah,
I get it, but I don't know why it's 2. I don't. But maybe it's because they. You know, if you're a fallen soldier and you're of a family with a fallen soldier, you'd want to be separate from just a normal veteran, right? I get maybe that's why.
Right.
I'm not sure exactly, but
right.
Yeah, so 100,000 people plus in today's 2021 world don't know what
Memorial Day. I mean, wow.
That really, when you sent this to me, I was really like, wow,
yikes,
that's pretty bad.
Yeah,
it's pretty terrible. It's pretty terrible. Pretty good.
Oh yeah, well Clint Eastwood's trending because he's 91.
Wait, what?
Clint Eastwood is 91 years old today.
My man.
That dude is still kicking it. I was telling my mom, we were eating breakfast, and I was like, Clint Eastwood's 91. I said, I remember in 2012 when he said he was retiring with Trouble with the Curve with Justin Timberlake and Amy Adams. And here we are. You know, 10 years later, he's still going. he's got a movie coming out this year, actually.
Yeah, you never told me who the guy on Twitter was. What's going on?
Oh, yeah. That's right. I forgot about him. He's like, who? He wants to know. All right. At Ben in Citizen, Joshua Eden.
Say it again.
Joshua Eden. I don't know if you can see it.
What's the at?
At Ben in Citizen. We're calling it right here. I love it. Let's see. Nothing sadder than a Zack Snyder fan. I love boredom. I love enforced mediocrity. Oh wow, he's a really kind soul.
Is that zoom in for you guys?
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I can see it. Look, he literally tweeted 3 hours ago. DM me if you want to find out how to make Zack Snyder fans block you. Just start scrolling down. This piece of crap. I mean,
all right, I'll read them out. Nothing sadder than a Zack Snyder fan. I love boredom. I love enforced mediocrity. I want plot points that insult my intelligence. I want the Fountainhead wonk fests. I want misplaced song choices. Pigs in tropes for real. 7 likes. 1 comment. 1 retweet.
Yeah, look at the 4 hours.
13.6 thousand followers, but only 7 of those followers.
He's begging for attention, dude. He's begging it. He's literally on his hands and knees. No. I love it.
All right, we'll send some replies. Hey guys, if you would like me to reply something to him, send it in the chat. Send it in the chat and I'll reply it for you. We'll have some fun. Who is this guy? How does he have 13.6 thousand followers if he absolutely says dumb shit like this?
That's what we're we're asking the same question.
Oh wait, that's not Snyder. That's not a. You're blocked. by Nightmare Wayne. Nightmare Wayne's pretty smart. DM me if you want to find out how to make Zack Snyder fans block you.
Prakash, you're absolutely right. At this point, the name Zack Snyder brings clout, and people are just trying to get off of that.
You absolute dribble monkeys think I'm joking.
Oh, because he's gonna write. Yeah. So the tweet before that said he's gonna write an article on how Zack Snyder's the worst filmmaker. Who does he write for? That's the other thing too.
He writes for someone.
Unfortunately.
Hold on. He's a okay.
Susie's like, yes, go in on him, Ty. Go in on him.
My name is Joshua Idehen, right? I am a journalist for what we can assume is a reputable article. I mean, a reputable magazine, right. Online, whatever, right? And I speak like this online. That isn't professional. Listen, if you don't like Zack Snyder, that's okay. There are a lot of people in life that don't like Zack Snyder, and that's okay. But when you promote hate, toxicity, and you talk like this to gain attention because your name can't get you shit.
Because you can't,
but Zack's can
stuff for yourself. Yeah.
What's the problem here? Are you mad that Zack is a bigger penis than you? Or are you just that sad of a human being?
Who is this guy? Please don't tell me because I just followed a link from his Twitter and it took me to Spotify. Oh man, I really hope his music sucks.
I also don't like to promote hate, but I did want to see his page.
Yeah, man, this guy. I mean, it's just so obvious. You know, I don't think I've ever seen anything more. More obviously begging for attention. Like it's sad. It's just
So this one's kind of funny, actually.
Gosh.
Zack Snyder, I'm remaking 3 Colors Blue. It's gonna have slow-mo and be 2 hours long and feature this one track.
Right.
I'm blue.
Yeah, I didn't But yeah, hey, shout out Lycast. Thanks for joining the chat. Appreciate you as always.
Lycast is here.
Yep.
Oh, how you doing?
Appreciate you. Great show. Great show the other day. The Snyder interview.
Zack Snyder. I'm making a film about breakup during an eclipse. I need a song. Damn, he just really likes Zack.
Yeah.
And I do hope this though. I hope this next movie he makes about dogs escaping, because if he is so shit at music supervising, he picked "Zombie" by Cranberries for a zombie movie.
And screw anybody who hates that, because I've been listening to that Sean nonstop for the last 2 weeks. That specific version. It was brilliant. It was so brilliant. That's the. Oh, okay. Yep. I'm gonna calm down.
Hold on. Here we get into this one. Sometimes I think, man, I really liked Dawn of the Dead and 300. When's that Zack gonna come back? But really, that Zack never left. I just grew up, developed taste. Dawn and 300 are terrible films that came out at the end of my edgelord phase.
Wow.
Tell you everything about his fans.
So what phase did you move into next? The asshole? I'm sorry. Gosh.
That's very ignorant to say.
What is that? What kind of what?
Type the year you became a. Okay, never mind. That's not. No. Is that it? Oh no, here we go.
Oh God, he said no.
The best thing about Army of the Dead isn't that the first inoffensive thing Zack Snyder. The best thing about Army of the Dead is it's the first inoffensive thing Zack Snyder in a decade. That doesn't make sense.
So
I mean, it's still boring but at least beyond giving Sean Spicer a paycheck, you're more restless rather than revolted. I don't understand any of what he just said. Maybe I'm dumb.
I think he's one of these idiots that are, saying that Zack's like a conservative or whatever, trying to push conservative stuff in his movies or whatever.
Who is this guy? Can someone find out who he works for so we can call them and bring their attention to this?
Yeah, because this is, I mean,
why? So, I mean, looking back, Zack Snyder should have made Iron Man. It would have made sense, asserting his Randian boner, but he would have ruined it because he's a shit director. Iron Man's humor and heart are the best parts of the franchise. Things Zack Snyder can't do.
Hey, Josh, what have you directed? I'd love to see it.
Which is so mad when you think about it. Iron Man 2 is the best version of Rand's work. Books, Zach's is desperate to adapt. And 100% he would have made a worse Iron Man 2 with a little blowy head up. Imagine searching the internet looking for Zack Snyder hate to feel mad about. And to paraphrase a scene from a better villain in a better movie than anything Snyder has made. Where has that brought you to me? Actually, Zach did his thing before Thanos. So
yeah, suck it.
They actually like took that. The idea for Army of the Dead, not Army of the Dead. The idea for like Infinity War Endgame was developed after Zack Snyder's Justice League. So I'm not really sure where you're going with that one. Guys, Army of the Dead is bad.
So that's the thread that I originally saw yesterday. So this is the one that I.
But he's been going for a long time.
Days. That's what I'm saying. 2 days. He's been going for 2 days. Like, what's his deal? I think he's in love.
My reply is, why are you so obsessed with Zach and his large penis? That's the last of that. Thank you guys for joining us on this, this journey into an idiot.
Man. Just I think people, they're just so desperate. Yeah. They're so desperate. I mean, that's really what it is. And
desperate times, right? So we've seen this in Jody's Corners case, right? So in Jody's Corners case, what we get is his subscriber count was starting to fall. His likability was never there. His jokes weren't landing. He was becoming less and less of a personality, right? He was becoming less and less talked about. So Jody started putting Zach in his mouth because he knew what would happen was maybe not the first time it happened, maybe not the third time it happened, but somewhere along the lines, what do they call us? The Snyder cult was going to find out, and they would come to Zach's defense because that's what good fans do. They come to the defense of people that they shouldn't have to, because your name or their name shouldn't be in this person's mouth. You don't really know anything about Zach. You don't know anything about how he films, how he directs, and the stories that he creates have so much deep meaning to them that you literally can't understand it because you're a surface level human being, and you just were never going to understand it. So what this tells me is that this gentleman is just like Jody, where you can't understand Zach's films. It's not that they're bad. You are just not as educated. And you just can't understand the depth. I would
go even farther as to just say, these are just people with absolutely no skill or talent and not really an opinion of their own. They're just, people looking to ride off the waves of everybody else's success, and that's always just, it's despicable. I think that's the perfect word for it.
What up, Lightcast? Lightcast got the big one, huh?
They got the big one.
You finally got it, man. They'd been working on that one for a while. I know Zach was just always kind of busy, but very, very proud of you guys, man. It was a good interview. And, I haven't been watching a lot of Zack Snyder interviews lately because they're kind of all the same at this point. But I did watch yours, and I really liked it. You guys did really well. And, as always, I always like, so I always, if Lightcast is doing an interview, I always like when Matt does it solo, right? That's like my favorite kind of not Zack Snyder interview. That's just my favorite Lightcast interview. And it is what it is about this one, but I still think you guys did really great because that was one that it had to be that way. But I always love the way the Lightcast interviews. So good job, guys. I'm really happy for you. But other than that, I think we're running out of time here. We ended on a really sour note, a real toxic note. Just know that that's just for real though. That's not the goal. It's not the goal to talk about people like that.
Right. But we just had to, because look, this guy has for more than 2 days, it seems like, just been and he's been reeling in, Snyder fans to to like we talked about earlier, to just feed him. You just feed him. And so I would say, like Prakash says, we responded just for some fun here on the channel, to have some fun. But yeah, those types of people, guys, don't entertain that for sure. They're sad people.
Yeah, very sad, very very. They just, they're very self-conscious. They're not relevant. They don't know what to do next, so they start thinking, and all of a sudden Zack Snyder pops into the head.
Yeah,
That's not a bad thing, actually. You know that, right? Because what that tells me is that Zack has become so well known. He's a household name at this point, even to people that don't like him or think his movies are bad, right? Everyone knows who Zack Snyder is now. And it's kind of brought attention to where it needed to be, right? So Zack is, Army of the Dead did really well on Netflix. I'm assuming that's because it's a good movie, but also because people are invested in this guy now. They're invested in his life, right? People want to know what he's doing next. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing for Zack. Zack, he's so talented and such a good-hearted person. He doesn't deserve to be talked about like that, and that's really what aggravates.
He really doesn't. He really does. I mean,
he is the sweetest human being that there is.
It's so funny because every single time you hear anybody talk about Zack Snyder, and you really felt it kind of in the Lightcast interview when you watch it too. Like he's a yes man. He is, they were throwing him some ideas, and he was like, "Dude, that's so sick," and like he really genuinely like loves it. And like I could see him going off and like wanting to do like have the ideas that people come up to him on the street and tell him, just because he's just so he seems like the greatest. He really does, and he doesn't, like you said, he does not deserve to have anybody speak about him in that way for sure.
Yeah. And so we'll end it there. Guys. But I had a good time today, other than spilling coffee on my $1,000 computer. It was pretty rough. But that's what made me look this guy up, and I just need to get some anger out.
There you go, get it out a little bit, right?
But all right. So you took us in. I'll take us out, guys. I know there wasn't too much energy on my side today, but that's okay. I got my day started really bad, and I'm sorry for that. I really am. But guys, become a member of the Pop Culture Corner. If you are a member of our Patreon, please, by the end of this week, if you get switched over to YouTube, that would really be great. Apparently, you have to use the desktop version. I'm not sure why. I don't get it, but if you could do that for me, that would be really wonderful. That's your homework for the week, your Pop Culture Corner homework. And for everyone else, if you're considering becoming a member, we do have 3 different tiers. The basic, the big drip. Then we have our Jack Attack, which is probably going to be the most popular at $5.99. And then the TY, it's the golden tier, what you should strive to be, the Pop Culture Comrade. I couldn't do 4 tiers, or I would have included Austin. But I didn't have a funny name for it though.
I'm a little sub special in the Jack Attack one. So
yeah, you're included in that. You're included in that. Morning, Andrew. Morning, Saggy.
Andrew. Saggy Melons. We missed you today, Saggy. Oh man.
Right on the way out too. Always gotta be on the way out. But also, guys, head over to our store, and if you're a member, you get 15% off. The members of Jack Attack and above get discounted merchandise as well. So please.
Oh, Prakash says I'm seeing the join button in mobile.
Oh, see, I'm not seeing it.
Let me pull it up real quick. Let me pull it up. Let's see here.
Or did he mistype and say, guys, if you're on your mobile version of the YouTube app, can you see a join button? Because I don't.
See, I don't. I don't see the join button.
And it's confusing me so much.
Yeah, I don't see it. Where are you going, Prakash, on the YouTube app to see that? Because I'm like in about. I'm going to home. I don't see.
So I'm gonna sign out of YouTube, and I'm gonna show you guys what I see as on my desktop. Right.
All right.
So when you search Pop culture. Ah, damn, man, we didn't even come up with that. Oh, just throw a C in there and we're first one. So if you click, see the join button right here?
Yeah, yeah.
If I do that on my app right now, that is not there.
Right. Prakash, yeah, send me a screenshot. DM me a screenshot. So I can see where you're seeing that. And someone to tie too.
Because it really upsets me.
Yeah, we want to figure out how we can fix that. Because I'm not seeing it on my end.
Yeah, it's definitely not there right there.
I mean, which I don't. Yeah, like I said, I'm not a member of Point Dexter Lounges either. So, but I know he's got, but I don't see anywhere on his page to join.
I'm not seeing it here. Not seeing it. Like I feel like it should be right next to where the subscribe button is.
Right. It should have It should have a big join.
Like a blue blue join now button. But that's okay. So guys, please get switched over to YouTube so that way we can integrate, get your badges and all that kind of good stuff. It's only available on Android and not in iOS. What? That's so stupid. All right, guys, if you own an iPhone like 90% of the world does,
go to the App Store.
Go to no. Don't go to the App Store. Go to Safari, pull up YouTube, and join that way. Or you can use the link in the description below. Other than that, all of our links are below. If you want to follow us on Twitter, follow Austin on Twitter, follow Jack on Twitter, follow on if you really, really want to. I don't know why you would. You can follow Big Drip on Twitter. It is what it is. I won't say anything to you. If this is your first time here, subscribe if you haven't already, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any new uploads. And you can join. Get a notification about when we go live and join. Come send some super chats, super stickers, emojis. Do what you need to do, guys. Once again, happy Memorial Day. This one is to all of our fallen soldiers who have kept this country so free and so this is the best place to live. I know people complain a lot, but the United States is the best place to live by far.
No doubt.
And I have always known that. I come from a military family, so I want to know, do you guys have anyone in the military in your families? And if so, I hope they're still with us, but if they're not, this is for you. Today's for you. Thank you for keeping our country safe, and you paid the ultimate price, unfortunately. Thank you to all of our veterans, past, present, and future. You guys are the ones. You guys are real heroes. We talk about Batman, we talk about Superman, but you guys are the real heroes. Those ones and the people on the front lines, like police, firefighters, paramedics, doctors, nurses, all those people. You guys are true heroes. You just don't wear a cape. You should though, because it would be hella cool if you did.
Yeah.
But you guys are amazing, and we aspire to be like you. We aspire to do right by you. So we do it for you, and we do it for the culture. The lights didn't go out this time. Damn it. I usually like to make the lights go out like this. So that I can be like, no, the lights went out. All right, guys. We'll see you next time.